Hello, Twitch and YouTube. So we're picking up Frostpunk 2, not where we left off last time, because last time we were pretty much losing, and so when the game crashed, I decided that would be the end of that stream and the end of that run. But hopefully this one will be going a little bit better, now that I've made a few changes, both in how I think I'm going to approach the Utopia Builder on Captain difficulty, as well as I updated a couple drivers in the background, so hopefully we don't have a crash during this stream. I will also pick a different map. Last time we played on Windswept Creeks, which I've played on at this point twice. So other than the random alignment of resources, I should be pretty well known about that one, so let's be a little bit more surprising to myself. I'm going to go into Fractured Gorge this time. We are still going to be on Captain difficulty. Go ahead and do random communities. And again, I'm going to go with the Developer Metropolis. We'll see how easy that is, or if we fail doing that. And let's get in and get started as soon as this loads up.
Steward.
Okay. So this time we got laborers, merchants, and foragers. So we've got, I think that's one on each of the three cornerstone paths. Dream of Utopia. So the first thing we do is we come in, we hit pause, and we look at how bad the map is going to be. So which buttons make that? So 4 shows us our resources. So we've got 3 steam geysers. We've got 2 explore the world map places. We've got a bunch of coal over here, in addition to a infinite deposit of coal. Well, a deep deposit of coal. It's got the little infinite signal on it, which I think the intention was that that's pretty much supposed to be infinite, but if you get pretty aggressive on gathering it, you can gather it all. We've got more prefabs over here if we need them. We start with some prefabs in the already frostbroken area, with a few more over here if we do some frostbreaking. We are starting with steam in our initial frostbroken area. And our coal, coincidentally this time our coal is on the way to exploration. Plus more steam on the way to exploration. Do a quick double check. So the merchants are on merit. Oh, I think the laborers are on merit as well. Yeah, they're on the merit equality track. Okay, so I thought for a moment we had one from each of the 3, but we don't. We have laborers, merchants as opposites, with foragers as neither. Much like before, we're starting off with a severe coal, housing, food, and goods shortage. Oh, no, we actually have still storage. I was about to say, maybe we have some supplies there. No. We do have some food, we do have some stockpiled materials as well. How do I want to approach this? So obviously we can't do a research institute until we get a housing facility and our housing facility built and upgraded. But we can go ahead and instead of waiting, we can immediately start building the council hall this time. Will in theory make it a little bit harder if I need to do some promises. And then we're obviously going to do some extraction. Okay, we can go ahead and set up extraction on those prefabs like that. So we will need a source of prefabs. I'm also this time going to try to start earlier on getting industry going. So that we don't have as much of a deficit of goods going for as long. I feel like it'd be a little bit better to have a deficit of materials than deficit goods. So that for that. At the beginning, I don't think we can use steam, so we will need to run to the coal. So we'll Frostpunk out to the coal. Let's get around here. So we got 3 nodes next to each other, and we can probably get something like that to attach them. So there. We'll do something like there for those coal deposits. That's our coal. Once we finish breaking through over to there. Obviously, that means we want to hold on to 40 heat stamps to set up those coal districts. Or set up that coal district so we can get some coal going. We'll have to Frostbreak for food, but we're not going to necessarily go rushing off to do that right away. Next is going to be housing. The housing, well, the generator on this case, in this map, is not, we can't get around it on all sides. So we'll have to sort of wrap it a little differently. And in fact, in this case, there's 3, okay, so we can still get 2 districts next to it, so we can do something like that. And something like that. Like that will get us the warmth bonus from next to the generator. We are going to have to expand one of these districts to put our research down fairly early on. So setting it up so that we can get these to be 3 adjacent to each other by doing something like this on the side makes a lot of sense. Could do something like that. And then when we do the expansion in, we can come in, get the warmth bonus for whatever district we end up keeping here. Yeah, I think that's good for the housing. So let's start off with that with housing. Do I want to do more frostbreaking? So we've got 3 of our 5 types of districts down. We will need materials. We will need food. We're not in an immediate rush for either of those, though it's probably best not to dilly-dally on getting those. So that would be the expansion for prefab extraction. And obviously, this would leave us with 5, so we'd have to come back in again if we wanted those. So I could sneak down. Alright, memory serves, probably want to do something like that, and then we can go back in and try to get those food districts a bit better. Do we still have workers to do more frostbreaking? We do. Okay, so I need more frostbreaking over there. I think that's good for the frostbreaking for the moment. Unless I need more over here. No, I think we're good over there for the moment. We got 120 heat stamps, so we're not going to immediately go... Well, I suppose we're going to go immediately out and hat in hand to our factions. We should probably do it earlier rather than later. But I'm going to hold off until we get the council down. So I'll probably try to do some combination of a promise and raise funds. We do probably want to get exploring quickly, so we get exploring quickly. And we find a steam core, we can try to make use of these renewable, well, I say renewal, make use of these Steam-style stockpiles. 80 million is a lot in practice, so they're not infinite, but they're pretty deep. So as soon as this is done, we'll have our first council vote. And that's done. We can have our first council vote. Before we have this first council, let's see. Oh, I'm not allowed to make promises yet. Or do I have to at least come into this interface first? So this is what the council chambers looks like. I tend to not spend a lot of time here. So now that we've been in there, are we? Yes. Okay. So okay, not quite what I was hoping. I was hoping we'd also be able to get to make the ability to make promises, but apparently we need a research lab for that. I can go in and look at each of these. They seek to pass contagion prevention. Don't want to do that yet. Contagion prevention, infectious badges versus border quarantine. You want expedition support. I'm allowed to do expedition support already. Maybe I will grant them their expedition support vote. That's under which tab? Society? No. Community service. Exploration time slightly decreased. And that's supported by the foragers, which, if I granted agenda to the foragers, they would presumably try to pass based on that. I'm not environmental with that, so instead I will probably just pass a vote without doing a grant agenda. What do I want to start with? No one's for mass-produced, people are for durable. The foragers are for durable. Reducing goods demand would help reduce crime as well as boost the number of heat stamps we're getting right now. Here, I'm thinking we want to go foraged additives. Basic necessities. So the laborers are for free essentials, the merchants are for paid essentials. Now what I might do is, whichever vote I pass first, I'll try to grant a promise to the merchants. Hopefully I can try to get them to want paid essentials for that yes vote. Contagion vote, I'm not really worried which way this goes. I think right now we can tolerate tension and tension more than shelter demand. Here we'd probably want allow productive outsiders, because right now we don't need people, but we need heat stamps, and higher percentage of workers is probably better than more people right now. Here we probably want either service exemptions from heat stamps or heat pipe watch for reducing heat demand across the city. Exploration time I'm not super worried about. More worried about expedition risk. Society, funerals. No one has an opinion on these yet, so I suppose if I wanted to bias who was the first faction to spawn, this would be one way to bias it, right? So if I picked one of these two, the faction associated with that would be more likely to spawn as the first faction. And then family apprenticeships. We probably want to avoid... well, it's a bias between speed. We're not really worried about research speed. We're really more heat stamps, so probably want family apprentices here. So I think right now, either want to do goods or food additives. Let me check, what does the industry district make? Oh, it's not going to tell me swapping it over to goods yet. Okay. And we don't even have if we're just going down, so probably going for the food one, it probably makes sense. It'll slow the burn on the food. We are going to go through it in 42 weeks, and we prefer that to last longer. So we'll do survival, food additives, forage additives, so we'll propose that. We'll try to negotiate, if it lets us negotiate. We'll go to the merchants. If you vote for it, what do you... Okay, so we can say allow protected outsiders is the agreement, and we can try to pass that next. So I will accept that vote.
The proposed law has been approved.
With that, we're now getting an additional 16 food from the weather being calm. Our frost breaking is done. So the question is, do we want to start with our coal extraction? The answer is probably yes. Let's look at frost breaking first, though. So if we do something like that, that would be 3 adjacent to this, so then get a warmth bonus over there. And that would allow us to set the second mine up when we decide to set the second mine up. That's actually looking pretty good. And we can actually set our... Actually, let's do that, and we put the hubs in the middle here. And then we can get bonuses off of both of them. Put like a heater hub here and a worker hub here. Okay, in which case that means we're good to toss a district that does something like that. No problems. That's our coal coming down. I hadn't yet broken out enough to get food going, but that should probably be another district that we set up soon. That would be a 5-length district. Default down to 6. Do also be a 5. That would put the starting food on the districts a bit more equivalent. Yeah, okay, we can use it on my map. That would be the first food district. We are going to need materials, but we don't need them right away. But we should probably, while we're thinking about a frost breakout, for those materials. Okay. A little bit low in heat stamps. What we can do is when our districts finish and or the frost breaking finishes, we can go hat in hand out to all the communities for more heat stamps. Okay, so let's look at our districts. So that helped a lot with shelter. We don't yet have neighboring 3 bonus, a double neighbor bonus on our housing districts. So the housing districts right now are consuming heat. Our extraction district is not consuming heat. It's 25 goods base output from the industrial districts. Okay. So that, in theory, means we're now going to start getting... from before when we had... maybe it's not auto-updating right away. Yeah, it doesn't look like it's auto-updating. We should be getting more income from heat stamps. So we are going to need to go hat in hand around to our parties here.
Stewart?
Honorable Steward.
Stewart.
So that we can actually get our immediate pursuits complete. So we are going to need to expand one of these housing districts at least, so we can get our research lab going. Okay, so if we go there, we'll gain Squalor, but the extraction district, in theory, will get reduced heat requirements. Which I think for the moment will be good. We'll do double expansion like that. We got coal coming in. How much do I need for the Research Institute? I need 100, and I probably want 150, maybe 100. Let's say another 100. So 200 probably for the Research Institute and the first couple of researches. So that means I've got about 190, about 200 that I can start spending on fixing other problems. Okay, so there's the 5 for food, plus the 6. When we do the expansion, then we will easily get a 3 adjacency on both of those. Toss you down. We'll need an extraction district. Do something like that. Start with the extraction district. Leave this with 100. We are going to still need to keep doing frost breaking, because we do need to frost break out to our access point over there, which we should get to on the next go. And then we'll have the heat stamps to set up a logistics district. So that looks good. So now we need to wait for those expansions to complete. So I could pop into the council. Merchants, what do you want contagion badge? Okay. I've agreed to have them vassal off for them. But it's not what their agenda is, so I will have to wait until the thing resets so I can call the thing up I need to for a vote. Okay, slowed us down because we've got an event firing. Blooming cold. Cold has risen to a concerning level. Yes, that's why we've got the cold going, so now it's just housing that's being an issue. Which, I suppose that also reminds me, we are now in a position where we can drop the Research Institute. So let's drop a Research Institute. Because we've got the double adjacency on here, we are at the point where these are not consuming any more heat. They will start to consume heat again. Oh no. They won't actually, because the research lab is another 20. So it'll be 60, minus 60 plus 60, so this should technically consume no heat after the research lab's done. You're consuming no heat. You're consuming no heat, so that's good to know. So right now, basically we have the coal generator going to meet the needs of the generator district, which does consume some finite heat requirements regardless of what I'm doing. In exchange, we do get some other benefits, so we do want to run some coal. And these districts out here are going to require heat. So that's 20, that's another 20. Oh, that's 40. So we are going to probably be... Actually, no, we'll probably be... Because I think it's coal 1-to-1 or 2-to-1. We can check that. Generator 1-to-1. Okay, so we'll be 30 heat short from our coal production when those two districts finish. but they should slow the burn rate on our other resources, which are looking to run out in, well, in the case of materials, run out in 26 weeks. In the case of food, in 42. And yeah, as I said earlier, building that industrial district has increased our heat stamp production by 2 a week, which maybe doesn't seem like a lot because it kind of isn't. Go ahead and get that expansion going, so we can go ahead and get our exploration happening. So we're waiting for you to come off a cooldown, we're waiting for you to get built, those to get built, and then we'll reevaluate. Okay, Research Institute done, and the Frostbreaking's done. So with the Frostbreaking done, we can go ahead and set up the Logistics Depot. That's kind of a no-brainer. I need to get that done. In the idea tree, last time I was less aggressive with picking up things like coal mines and steam upgrades. I think I'm going to try to do that sooner this time. Probably also want to pick up a factory upgrade so we can make more goods without having to expand our industrial district. Here, we probably want to do scout headquarters earlier. Probably don't need any off of this tab unless it's to meet a promise from faction. Society, again, unless we need... We didn't really have a problem with health and crime in the last one because we never got the population high enough, but... so we're probably a little too aggressive grabbing hospitals. And the hubs, these are the hubs that you don't start with. Again, some of these are pretty useful later on, like maintenance hubs and stuff like that. But right here at the beginning, I don't think we need them. And we didn't go for them last time. So let's do a little bit of fishing with promises. What do you want? Weather justice shifts, expedition support, untreated sawmill. The one I will probably be willing to give these guys is untreated sawmill. We're not willing to do that right now, though. I have other priorities.
Steward.
What things do you want for your promises? All maintenance, supported quarantine, research, equal pay. Okay, none of those.
Steward.
But, oh, and I have a pending promise from you. Okay. So that means my research choice is my own, because I'm not forking it off on one of my factions. We know we're going to be running low on coal production the moment our districts come online, so I need to pick a coal mine choice is what I'm thinking I'm going to go with. So we can do laborer favored, merchant favored, or forger favored. Okay, so these two, basically our neutral factions will happily accept the neutral choice. So shaft coal mining will not make anyone happy, will not make anyone angry. Dust coal mining right now will make the forgers happy. And when the faction that spawns associated with forgers spawns in, it will make that faction happy. However, it will make the opposition unhappy, so that's one thing to be aware of. It is more productive. So it consumes less materials, produces more coal at the cost of disease, which we haven't had problems with in previous runs. So I am going to go with the dust coal mine, because forager favored is what I'm thinking of favoring on that axis. We're going to go adaptation. I'm thinking adaptation merit, so we're probably going to have to be careful with not having the laborers get too pissed. And then I don't know which way I'm going to go on tradition or reason yet. You okay? With that, we're going to let time advance a little bit. Hello, looks like we've got Twitch chatter, so hey. going fairly well. I think this is the second time I've started on Captain difficulty, so hoping this Captain difficulty will go a little bit better than last. Looking at the time, I think this is roughly where we're going to go ahead and put the section break as far as YouTube's concerned. I'm going to go ahead and we're going to advance time until we get access to exploring the Frostlands, and that's where I will start off the next part on YouTube. So if you're watching this on YouTube, feel free to join in again in the next part. That should be up for you again tomorrow. If you're watching on Twitch, I'm going to take a quick short break to stretch my legs before going into the next part for YouTube. I'll try to answer any Twitch chat questions in the break. So if you're watching on YouTube, catch you in a bit. Hope you have a good time. Until then.